So, you've decided to move your Source Filmmaker animation into Blender. You're in luck because I just created the first SFM to Blender session importer that imports models, cameras, animations, and shape keys wrapped into one Blender add-on. After 3 months of work, I am proud to introduce to you Blender HoovyTools, made possible by the creators of Source.io and Blender Source Tools. You install it just like any other Blender add-on. Make sure to also install Source.io to make it fully functional. A link will be provided in the description to my add-on and Source.io respectively. After successfully installing it, you will mount this new import menu. Let me explain what each module does. After installing HoovyTools, to import your session into Blender, you need to do the following things. Save the session DMX file, and afterwards, export all animations you wanted to inject into Blender with batch animation export. It only works if the shot name is named Shot 1 or Shot 2. Make sure that cameras are named Camera 1, Camera 2, and so on. After selecting Import DMX Session Models, select your session.dmx file. It will decode the SFM session file and using Source.io logic add your models. The shot importing process is modular because each step is dependent upon the previous one and can be very GPU taxing. After importing the models, you may need to import reference animations from SFM on top of the models and apply them as rest poses. Select the folder with exported animations and filter them by the shot name. In our case, it's Shot 1. You can download the models from this session on Patreon/HoovyTube.
There are 2 rules to remember if you want to have a good time. Rule number 1, never run out of Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Your cameras will only import if they were named Camera 1, Camera 2, and so on. The shape key importing works with all non-HWM models and works with HWM models only if you save their .qc file in the HoovyTools/QC face data folder. I will show how to do it in a second. This session importer does not import the map you are using because that already is a feature in the Source.io add-on. Now, let's go over the other tools included in this add-on. This add-on contains an animation importer. However, it may be faulty for certain models, for example, all TF2 mercenaries. To fix them, we need to use the rig fixer, which simply imports a reference animation on top of the model and applies it as the default pose. To have it applied automatically by the session importer workflow, name it exactly like the MDL file of the model with a suffix dash reference. Now you're safe to import animations on top of this model.
Trimmings that make you feel as if you are in the lap of luxury.
I got to spend my first night on a yacht and
If you import an HWM model with the source model importer, all your shape keys will be symmetrical, unlike SFM local vars. I built a shape key symmetrizer that must be run before animation is imported. It symmetrizes all shape keys with an L suffix. Now your shape keys match the way your local vars were encoded in the .qc file that you can get by decompiling a model with Crowbar.
So here we are below deck in one of the 4 bedrooms. Sleeps 8 this particular yacht. This is
If you use my simple shape key importer without flex controller baking, you will import empty shape keys. If you know a thing or two about SMD decompiling, you call these empty shape keys flex controllers. You can use them to bake the animation into local vars as long as you use my local var baker script with the matching .qc file of the model. Your facial animation is now matching the SFM facial animation with close to 99% accuracy. Let's talk about how HoovyTools is structured, and I want to be upfront with you, it made sense at the time. For you to get the most out of this add-on, You need to understand the purpose of these two folders that you will need to manually expand. Faulty rigs should be enriched with reference poses for some custom characters of yours. SFM contains a handy little utility called reattach to model. Blender doesn't, so I had to recreate it myself. So, if you import an animation into Blender from SFM and it deforms the elbows and legs, the fix is to export a static idle animation DMX from SFM and apply it to the armature as a new rest pose. HoovyTools does this automatically during import session for every model it recognizes. One per character with a dash reference suffix. The second folder you need to keep building up is the QC face data folder. Hardware morphs face models in Source Engine use a two-layer system for facial animation. The first layer is flex controllers, the high-level sliders that Source Filmmaker animates directly. The second layer is local vars, the actual vertex deformation holders. Source IO, when it imports an HWM model, already creates the local var shape keys on the mesh with the correct vertex deformation data, and my shape key importer can easily import all flex controller data. So if you decompile the .mdl with crowbar, you get the QC. The QC contains every local var expression. HoovyTools reads those expressions, evaluates them frame by frame against the imported flex controller curves using my expression parser, and writes the results as keyframes directly onto the local var shape keys. Flex controllers go in, local var animation comes out, the face moves. You can get the add-on for free on my Patreon, as well as more SFM related assets. Support me if you value my contributions to the SFM Blender community.